Goldie Hawn has always been more than just a movie star. With her big smile, blonde hair, and special charm, she became one of the most loved actresses ever. From her first big break in a TV show called Laugh-In to winning an Oscar and making lots of hit movies, Goldie built a career full of laughs, love, and happiness. Away from movies, her personal life has been just as interesting. From her boyfriends to her long relationship with Kurt Russell. But lately, sad news has upset her family. And now, her husband's feelings say everything. Come with us as we look at her story from the very beginning and see what her life is like today. Goldie Hawn was born in Washington, D.C. Her mother, Laura, owned a jewelry store and dance school, while her father, Edward Rutledge Hawn, was a musician and band leader. He came from German and English families and was related to Edward Rutledge, the youngest man to sign the Declaration of Independence. Goldie was named after her mother's aunt. She grew up with her sister, Patty Hawn, who later worked helping famous people with the news. The family had a son, Edward Jr., but he sadly died before Patty was born. Goldie and Patty only found out about him later when they were older. Her father was Presbyterian, and her mother was Jewish, the daughter of people who moved from Hungary. Goldie was raised Jewish in Tacoma Park, Maryland, and went to Montgomery Blair High School in Silver Spring. She started ballet and tap dancing when she was 3 years old, and by 1955 she was already dancing in the Nutcracker. In 1964 she played Juliet at the Virginia Shakespeare Festival and also taught at her own ballet school. She had studied acting at American University but left before finishing. Instead, she put all her time into performing. She first performed in a can-can show at the New York World's Fair. By 1965, she was dancing for money in New York City and New Jersey. Her love for performing soon led her toward acting, and bigger chances came next. In 1966, Goldie moved to California to perform at Melodyland Theater across from Disneyland. She worked in shows like Pal Joey and How to Succeed in Business without really trying. Her first acting job came with the TV show Good Morning World in 1967, where she played the girlfriend of a radio DJ. The part was written as a dumb blonde, and that same style carried into her next big chance. In 1968, she joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. The comedy show made her famous everywhere. She became known for her high-pitched giggles, her bubbly personality, and her painted or bikini-wearing appearances. People saw her as one of the cool girls of the late 1960s. Goldie's fame on Laugh-In soon opened doors to movies. She had her first small part in The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band in 1968. But her real breakthrough came a year later. In 1969, she starred in Cactus Flower as Walter Matthau's fiancée. The performance won her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. That same year, she appeared in The Spring Thing, a television special with Bobby Gentry and Noel Harrison. Soon, she starred in There's a Girl in My Soup and Butterflies Are Free. In just a few short years, Goldie went from dancer to Oscar-winning actress. Her happy charm made her a star, but her next 10 years would show she had even more to offer. Goldie's career took off after her Oscar win. She starred in funny movies like There's a Girl in My Soup, Dollars and Butterflies Are Free. She also proved she could handle serious movies, taking parts in The Girl from Petrovka and Steven Spielberg's The Sugarland Express. She then joined the cast of Shampoo in 1975. During the 1970s, Goldie balanced both family and career. She stepped back for a time to focus on her marriage and the birth of her son, but returned in 1978 with the Goldie Hawn special where she performed alongside George Burns, Sean Cassidy, and John Ritter. The show earned an Emmy nomination. Soon after, her film Foul Play with Chevy Chase became a box office hit and brought back her career. She even released a country music album in 1972 with the help of Dolly Parton and Buck Owens. In the 1980s, Goldie continued her run of successful comedies. She starred in Private Benjamin in 1980, which she also helped make. Nancy Myers, who helped write the script, remembered Goldie's reaction. She laughed, and then she got really emotional, and her eyes would fill up with tears. The part earned Goldie her second Academy Award nomination, this time for Best Actress. Other movies of the 10 years included Seems Like Old Times, Best Friends, Protocol, Swing Shift, and Wildcats. In 1985, she appeared on the cover of Playboy magazine. She ended the 10 years with Overboard in 1987, acting alongside her partner Kurt Russell. By then, she was not just a comedy star. She had become one of Hollywood's most loved people. In 1990, Goldie starred in Bird on a Wire with Mel Gibson. Critics had different opinions, but the film was a success at the box office. She went on to star in Deceived Crisscross and the dark comedy Death Becomes Her with Meryl Streep and Bruce Willis. She also worked with Steve Martin in House Sitter, which was another hit. But in 1992, her personal life took a pause. Goldie stepped away from acting for 4 years to care for her mother, who sadly passed away in 1994. When she returned, she helped make Something to Talk About and made her directing debut with Hope in 1997. She also starred in The First Wives Club in 1996, alongside Diane Keaton and Bette Midler. The movie became a major success and included their famous cover of You Don't Own Me. She later worked with Steve Martin again for The Out-of-Towners. In 1997, she and her co-stars from The First Wives Club received the Women in Film Crystal Awards. By 1999, Harvard's Hasty Pudding named her Woman of the Year. But not every project worked out. Town and Country in 2001 became a huge failure despite its star cast. She came back strong in 2002 with The Banger Sisters, co-starring Susan Sarandon and Jeffrey Rush. After that, Goldie stepped away from film for more than 10 years. She wrote her life story, A Lotus Grows in the Mud, in 2005. Then in 2013, she returned to television with a guest part in Phineas and Ferb. In 2017, she came back to the big screen in Snatched with Amy Schumer. And in 2018, she delighted fans as Mrs. Claus in The Christmas Chronicles, returning again for the 2020 sequel. Goldie's career has stretched across many years, proving she could shine through every stage of her life. But in all that, what does her personal life look like? Well, before Goldie Hawn became a household name, she already had boyfriends that gave a glimpse into her young heart. She dated actor Mark Goddard and singer Spiro Venduris during her early years before fame changed her life. In 1969, Goldie married Gus Triconis, a dancer who had played a Shark Gang member in West Side Story. They got married on May 16th, but the marriage didn't last. By April 1973, the couple had separated. Even after breaking up, Goldie did not ask for a divorce right away. Instead, she started new relationships, dating stuntman Ted Grossman, Swedish actor Bruno Wintzl, and Italian actor Franco Nero. Life seemed busy, yet her legal ties to Triconis stayed. Finally, on New Year's Eve in 1975, Goldie asked for divorce. By then, she was already engaged to musician Bill Hudson of the Hudson Brothers, whom she had met the previous summer. Their love story began on a first-class flight from New York to Los Angeles, and the connection was strong enough to move her toward a new chapter. The divorce from Triconis was granted in June 1976, and just weeks later, Goldie married Hudson in her hometown of Tacoma Park, Maryland. But what looked like a fresh start would soon come with problems. Goldie and Bill Hudson began their marriage with hope, and soon they started a family together. Their first child, Oliver, was born on September 7, 1976. 3 years later, their daughter, Kate, arrived on April 19, 1979. With 2 children and a busy career, Goldie seemed to be balancing it all, but the marriage itself was having problems. By August 15, 1980, Hudson asked for divorce. The couple's love story was coming to an end, though it had given Goldie 2 of the most important people in her life. After the separation, Goldie moved forward with new boyfriends. She was linked to French actor Yves Renier and Moroccan businessman Victor Dry. Still, the end of her marriage to Hudson left a lasting mark. Their divorce was finalized in March 1982. Though their relationship ended, the children they shared became the bridge to Goldie's future, especially as life soon brought someone new into her world. That someone was Kurt Russell, but their story had roots that stretched back years earlier. Goldie and Kurt Russell had first met in 1966 on the set of Disney's The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band. At the time, Goldie was 21 and Kurt was only 16. Years later, Goldie remembered the meeting clearly. "I was 21 and he was 16 and I thought he was adorable. But he was much too young," she said in 2012. They went their separate ways, and for years they both agreed they would never date another actor. But fate has a way of surprising people. In 1983, the two met again when Kurt tried out for Swing Shift. Goldie was there to read with him, and despite being severely hungover, Kurt took his chance. His first words to her were blunt. "Man, you got a great figure." Instead of being offended, Goldie replied, "Why, thank you." That line broke the ice, and soon they had their first date. The evening started with swing dancing at the Playboy Club in Los Angeles, but it quickly became unforgettable. After heading to a house Goldie was fixing up, the two ended up inside only to be caught by police because they had broken in. As Kurt recalled, "We eventually found our way upstairs and we are basically having sex." The police walked in. They left laughing and ended the night in a hotel room. Kurt summed it up years later. "That was our first date. It was a lot of fun. I'll tell you what." From that wild night, their story began, building a life and a family together. After that first date, Goldie and Kurt's connection grew deeper. In 1984, they starred together in Swing Shift, and their on-screen chemistry was matched by real life. Goldie later said she knew he wasn't a womanizer, and she could see his honesty. What touched her most was the way he treated her children, Oliver and Kate. "What really got me was when I watched my kids when they'd come to the set, and how he was with them," she recalled. "He was amazing with them. He was such a natural." Their relationship became more serious, and on July 10, 1986, they welcomed their son, Wyatt. The blended family grew to include Goldie's children, Kurt's son, Boston, from his previous marriage, and now their son together. In 1987, they starred in Overboard, a romantic comedy where their real-life connection shone through. Many years later, the couple watched the movie again at home. Goldie said, "It was so fabulous how we started, looking at what we did together. They even had playful moments in public at the 1989 Academy Awards. While presenting together, they joked about marriage." Goldie called them companions and a couple, to which Kurt teased, "There's only one thing we're not married." Goldie laughed and asked, "Is that a proposal?" The audience cheered, but Kurt replied, "We'll talk about that later tonight." Their bond only grew stronger over the years. By 1996, Kurt was by Goldie's side at the premiere of The First Wives Club, celebrating another milestone in her career. In 2004, their family expanded again, not with another child, but with grandchildren. Kate, who was 24 at the time, welcomed her son Ryder. Goldie had once said, "I would love to be a grandmother. I'm not pushing the matter, but it would be so much fun." That wish came true, and she loved being able to enjoy her children and grandchildren while still sharing life with Kurt. Their love story, filled with humor, family, and loyalty, became one of Hollywood's most admired partnerships. In May 2006, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell traveled to Italy for the premiere of Russell's film Poseidon. On the red carpet, the couple looked happy and close, with Russell even planting a kiss on Goldie in front of the cameras. It was one of many times their love was on full display. A decade later, in November 2016, Goldie celebrated her 71st birthday in style. The party took place at the Hollywood spot Catch LA. She arrived smiling with Russell by her side, carrying a large present. But the most touching gift was the one he gave at home. Their daughter Kate shared the story online, posting a photo of a new fireplace Russell had built. She wrote, "My pa laid the stone for the fireplace in their new home, and if you look closely, he put a big heart representing Mama, and I'm going to say him too, with 4 little hearts representing us kids." This sweet gesture showed not just his love for Goldie, but also his love for the family they built together. And soon the world would see even more of their bond at another special event. In April 2017, Goldie joined Russell at the Hollywood premiere of Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2, where he played Chris Pratt's father. She told reporters, "I'm always proud of him. And I'm proud of him with this film, but I haven't seen the movie yet." Just weeks later, the couple experienced one of the biggest honors of their lives. On May 4, 2017, both Goldie and Kurt received stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The ceremony turned into something much more emotional than expected. Goldie said afterward, "It turned out to be a love fest." The last thing he said was, "I'll always cherish you." I didn't expect him to say those things. During his speech, Russell looked at Goldie and said, "To you I owe my wonderful life. Simply put, Goldie, I cherish you. All the stars in the sky or on the boulevard can't hold a candle to that. There's no one else I'd rather be next to for all of that than Goldie Hawn." Their kiss by the side of their neighboring stars became a picture-perfect moment. Days later, Goldie explained the secret behind their many years together. Love, gratitude, compassion. Because sometimes every man or every woman will drive their partner crazy. Family, fun, laughs, sex. If you don't nurture that, and remember, you're done. Her words were simple, but powerful. And while they stayed focused on family and love, they also returned to the big screen together, sharing the screen and family joy. In 2018, Goldie and Kurt starred as Mr. and Mrs. Claus in the Netflix hit The Christmas Chronicles. Goldie's part was small but memorable, and their son Oliver even joined the project. 2 years later, in November 2020, the sequel gave Goldie a much bigger part as Mrs. Claus. Russell explained why they waited so long to work together again, saying, "I thought we'd work together much sooner than this, but Goldie and I are pretty choosy." And generally, Goldie Hawn movies and movies that Kurt Russell is in are pretty different things. It's not mandatory just because you live with someone, you love someone, and you enjoy working together that you should do 10 or 15 movies together. Around this same time, their family life kept growing. On October 2, 2018, they welcomed another grandchild, adding more joy to their home. By December 2020, they were opening up about their relationship in People magazine. Goldie said, "You've just got to want to be together. I don't think there's any way other than do it." When asked why they never married, she explained, "It's not about the marriage. It's about the people in the relationship and the will to stay together. And that's a big one because if you want it, you can have it. You've got to give things up. But the joy and the excitement of being together and touching the toes of somebody at night is really a nice feeling." Their choice showed that commitment mattered more to them than titles. In March 2023, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn spoke with Variety about their decision not to marry. Russell recalled, "We constantly got asked, 'When are you going to get married? Why aren't you married?' He explained that back in the 1980s, those questions never stopped, but neither of them cared. "We'd asked our kids if they cared about it. They didn't. We didn't," he said. Goldie felt the same, telling interviewers she would have been long divorced if she'd been married. For them, staying together was about choice, not paperwork. They celebrated 40 years together in 2023, a rare milestone in Hollywood. By then, they owned homes across the country from Vancouver and Colorado to Manhattan, Santa Ynez Valley, Brentwood, and Palm Desert. Yet even with all their success and comfort, they were clear about one thing. Marriage was never the secret to their bond. In July 2023, Goldie spoke to CNN's Chris Wallace and explained why. She admitted both she and Russell had seen how painful divorce could be. "It's always ugly," she said. "Somebody actually has to take a look and say, how many divorces actually are fun? How many divorces actually don't cost money? How many divorces actually make you hate the person more than you did before? How many divorces have hurt children?" She told Wallace that she preferred the freedom of waking up every day and deciding she wanted to stay in the relationship. "I like the idea that I can wake up in the morning and make decisions every day if I want to be here," she said. For Goldie, independence was important. "Staying independent with independent thinking is important," she explained. Even after 4 decades, they still didn't feel marriage was necessary. But if they avoided one challenge, life soon brought them another. One that shook them to their core, a move born from fear. In June 2024, Goldie revealed to Kelly Ripa on Let's Talk Off Camera why she and Kurt Russell had left their Los Angeles home to live full-time in Palm Desert. It wasn't just about lifestyle, it was about safety. She shared that they had gone through not one but two scary home robberies. The first happened around 2020 when she and Kurt had gone out for dinner and a movie. Returning home, she went upstairs and walked into her closet only to find destruction. "I walked into my closet and I just lost it," she said. Thieves had broken in through the balcony and even smashed down her safe door. Goldie admitted she thought it would be a one-time event. Sadly, she was wrong. Months later, a second robbery took place while Kurt was away. Goldie heard a loud thump upstairs and at first didn't know what it was. Later, she discovered the horrifying truth. "We discovered that they were trying to get in my bedroom while I was in the house." She said the experience left her shaken. Experts later explained why this was so scary. Dr. Sam Haffey, a brain doctor, told Nikki Swift that multiple home invasions happening one after another can deeply upset a person's basic feeling of safety and control. A home is supposed to be a safe place, but for Goldie, that feeling was broken. Moving to Palm Desert wasn't just a choice. It was a way to feel peaceful again. And there, surrounded by family, they began to heal from what had been lost. Goldie later admitted they had bought the Palm Desert home years earlier, but after the break-ins, it became their safe place. The area also offered something even more valuable: closeness to family. Some of their children had homes nearby, and that brought both comfort and protection. Dr. Haffey explained why this mattered. She said being close to family gave them emotional and practical comfort. The ability to feel protected while being with family members and avoiding familiar, distressing memories in a new setting. She also pointed out that making choices about where to live and how to protect yourself was part of healing. To regain trust in one's environment, people must take back their power through making decisions about their living space, social connections, and their protection strategies, she explained. While Goldie could never completely erase the memories of those robberies, moving gave her a sense of control again. Many people fail to understand the profound impact repeated intrusions have on someone's identity and personal autonomy, Haffey noted. Goldie's choice to put her mental and emotional well-being first showed strength. But even as they found healing in Palm Desert, Goldie and Kurt kept showing the world the bond that had carried them through many years. And soon, Goldie would open up again about why Russell was the one, the secret to lasting love. In April 2024, Goldie appeared on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend and revealed the exact moment she knew Kurt was the one. She explained, "It wasn't just about attraction. It wasn't just because he was sexy and handsome and all of those things you get turned on by. It was because he matched my devotion to children to be number one." She said for her, family always came first, and Kurt shared that same passion. By September 2024, Goldie was speaking even more openly about their secret. In an interview with E! News, she laughed and said, "Good sex and being nice to each other upon occasion kept their relationship strong." She explained, "This is something that connects you and creates more belonging." People who have healthy sexual relationships usually last a lot longer, but it's not just because of the act. It's because of the warmth and the intimacy that it creates. Her honesty showed why their bond still felt so alive. Even as they dealt with hard moments, they always chose each other. By March 2025, they were back in the spotlight at the 97th Academy Awards in Los Angeles. Goldie turned heads in a bright yellow Dolce & Gabbana gown, while Kurt looked sharp in a black tuxedo. They walked the red carpet as they had so many times before together side by side. Their love story had seen laughter, fear, and even tragedy. But after more than 40 years, they remained one of Hollywood's most admired couples. At the 2025 Academy Awards, Goldie Hawn walked on stage with actor Andrew Garfield to present. She looked glamorous as always, but soon revealed something the audience did not expect. Goldie admitted live on air that she was struggling with her duties. She was meant to read the lines from the teleprompter, but just a few words in, she turned to Andrew and asked for help. Looking at him, she said, "Okay, sweetheart, can you read that?" "I can't read that. I'm completely blind. I mean, I am cataracts." The crowd was stunned. Goldie had shared a secret health battle right there under the spotlight. Cataracts are common in older people and cause the eye's lens to become cloudy, making vision unclear. For Goldie, it was a very real struggle, and she did not hide it. Instead, she let the world see her weak side. Andrew Garfield reacted quickly and kindly. He stepped in without hesitation, saying, "Okay, I've got you," and took over the lines. What could have been a stressful moment turned into something touching. Holding Goldie's hands, Andrew took the opportunity to share a personal story. He told her, "Goldie, can I tell you something really quickly? There is a person who gave my mother during her life the most joy and comfort. And tonight, I feel very lucky because I get to thank that person from the bottom of my heart. That person is Goldie Hawn." His words were heartfelt and emotional. The audience could see that Goldie was touched by the tribute. Some viewers at home thought the exchange was awkward, but many more praised the honesty and kindness of the moment. One fan on social media wrote, "So funny how jaded people are." It was sweet, gracious, and a rare moment of real in Hollywood. She was clearly very touched, as any would be to hear that what they did mattered that much to his mom. He blessed her heart with that moment of kindness. It was a reminder that even Hollywood legends face challenges, and sometimes the most powerful moments happen unscripted. Away from the stage, Goldie had her longtime partner Kurt Russell by her side. They have been together since 1983, sharing life, raising a family, and building memories. Goldie has often been asked why they never married, and she gave her answer in an interview last year. When asked about tying the knot, she said, "Why should we get married? Isn't that a better question? We have been married, and because when it doesn't work out, it ends up to be big business. Somebody has to own something, it's always ugly." For her, commitment and love meant more than a legal title. Over the years, Goldie and Kurt have blended their families, welcomed a son together, and become proud grandparents to 7 children. Their bond has grown stronger with time. In 2021, Goldie posted a birthday tribute to Kurt, writing, "No, we never got married. But one thing that continues to grow is our love. You're a wild one. Brilliant, lovable, childlike, perfectly maddening, a father supreme, and deeply funny. I can't imagine my life without you at any age, Kurt Russell. You're the catch, and you're all mine." That post showed how she sees him, not just as a partner, but as the love of her life. What do you think about Goldie and Kurt's relationship? Do you believe only love is enough to keep a couple strong without marriage? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from Hollywood's fascinating history. See you next time.